Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. In this, my name is Ariska. On this occasion, I will explain a little material about the morphology of the stem. Stem morphology. Stems are the main part of a plant that grows on the ground, supporting other parts of the plant, such as leaves, flower, and fruits. The structure of the stem is more complex than the roots of plants because it has segments and between segments. On the stem will ever flower and leaf bud. On the stem there are branches whose function is to place the leaves in a position that allow the leaves to get sunlight for the process of photosynthesis of plants. Without the stem of plant that have a sweet cannot live because the growing point comes from the stem. And then there are properties of stem. The first is stem growth is generally unlimited. The trunk has the properties of upward growth, direction, and toward light or phototrophy. In open-seeded plants, gymnospermae consists only of woody plants. In closed-seeded plants, angiospermae consists of with-stemmed plants, grass stems, and woody stems. Stems have clear segments in monocot plants. Stems have segments that are not clearly visible in dicotyl plants. Some types of stems can be distinguished by other parts such as coconut tree trunk, while there are also stems covered with life forms such as corn plants. Here there is a root structure that is visible as a wall, namely terminal bud, axillary or lateral bud, flower bud, leaf scar, internode, node, lenticel, and ground rind. There is a bar function that is as a super plant so that it can still stand upright. Supporting other parts of plants such as leaves, flower, and also fruit. Because if there is no stem, this part cannot live. It becomes a transportation route for water and food substance resulting from the process of photosynthesis. As a helper of the process of in the plant, because oxygen can enter the lenticel, where the leaves, flower, and fruit are attacked as a means of breeding in a vegetative way with the grab method, as a strong of food reservoir in plants such as sago. Here there are parts of the structure of dicotyledon and monocotyledon root. Composite of layer of tissue there is dicotyl, cortex, cambium, xylem, phloem, and epidermis. Monocotyl, phloem, xylem, jaringan dasar, and endodermis. And epidermis. Number 1, epidermis. Epidermis is a stem composite of a tightly arranged cell with no space between the horned cell. The cells that make up the epidermis are always actively splitting to compensate for the growth of the stem. The main function of the epidermis is a protective layer from the danger of dryness. Indicotyledon plants have an epidermis layer in the form of break formed from soft tissue. Number 2, cortex. The cortex is composed of chloroplast parenchyma tissue. The cells are thin-walled and irregularly arranged with wide intercellular space. Some types of grass plants have sclerenchyma tissue as an aquifer on the stem cortex. Number 3, endodermis. Endodermis is the deepest layer of the cortex and borders the central cylinders. Having cells of this sense type, shape, and arrangement, the layer of cells that are the boundary between the cortex and the central cylinders at the root is called the endodermis. And number 4, stela. Stela is composed of spiral network, normally transport files, pits, and pericambium. Pericambium is the most peripheral cell layer of the central cylinder. Next to the neuron is a parenchyma with a beam of transport vessel. This carrier file consists of xylem and phloem, which is a continuation of xylem and phloem at the root. Dicot plant stem. On the stem of young dicotyl, there are three areas, namely the epidermis, cortex, and stela. The epidermis consists of a layer of cell and is the outermost part of the trunk. The area on the inside of the epidermis is the cortex, and on the inside of the cortex is limited by the vesicle. The cortex is divided into two regions of the parenchyma region and the parenchyma region. Parenchyma occupies a position below the epidermis, and parenchyma on the inside of the parenchyma. The stela consists of a pericycle, vascular beam, and pit. Vascular files are arranged in a circle. A file consists of xylem, cambium, and phloem. Monocots rods are the same as dicotyledonous rods, have epidermis, cortex, and stela. The cortex can be fluid or unreal. The structure and arrangement of vascular files are mainly the ones that distinguish dicotyledonous and monocot rods. Vascular file and starters, including on the pit, so that there is no clear boundary between the cortex and the pit. Monocotyl vascular files do not have cambium, so they do not undergo secondary thickening. Each vascular file is a clause in a file sheet composed of parenchyma tissue. Okay, maybe that's all I can say. We apologize if there are any shortcomings. Thanks. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.